Alright, so this video, we're going to be going over the Tactical Sniper Series DMR match hosted by the Proving Grounds at Clinton House. This time around, I used my awesome Tabuk Sniper Rifle. Now, before we go over gear, we'll go ahead and go through all the match footage and come back, talk about what I used. So we'll see you after that.
Alright, shooter, are you ready?
Yep.
Shooter indicates ready, stand by. Alright, shooter, are you ready?
Yep.
Shooter indicates ready, stand by.
I was thinking racket. I need to work out. Take longer to get up too.
Racket.
And you can't have a long distance.
Hit on the second.
Hit!
Same target.
Hit!
Hit! Yeah, nice. He almost hit that.
Hell yeah!
He barely missed that tiny target.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Oh, come on. Yep. Let's put your pistol.
You're on my shit, I'm on his shit.
Oh, okay. Are you ready?
And I'm on somebody's shit.
Stand by. Hit. Hit.
That crazy.
Hit. 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 Hit.
No, come on.
Hit. Yep.
Or was he?
If you're finished, unload show clear. If clear, hammer down, bolster. Alright, shooter, are you ready? Yep. Shooter indicates ready. Stand by.
That's the.
He worked for like a French turbine nuclear stations. He was like a number one sales guy, so yeah. So he's super nice. He'll do anything.
Hey!
If you look at the range of travel, the first 40 report.
Hey!
It's got 8 more mills than the top. It's nuts. So,
Hey!
my brother has a top attack. We can only shoot 700 yards.
Hey!
If I got something that's not good. It's broken up.
Hey!
Rail. And he's looking at the rail and it's taller than the back of the truck. And what he's trying to realize is the receiver is the key.
Hey!
So you pick my gun. I mechanically zero the scope. I twist it all the way down. Count it. Split the difference.
Over! Unload show clear for me. Alright, fly 4 hammer down.
Zero.
And your rifle's clear.
Shooter and full fire. Yep. Yeah, I got that.
Stand by.
In my eyes, I was like, oh.
Hit! 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 Hit!
Ah. Dang. So
Go ahead and load
whatever
mic,
the
right?
time is,
2 or 3 mic.
2, 2, and then 10 pistol.
Brewery left too far.
You have to shoot off the ATV.
Yeah, but I mean, anywhere?
I just asked, and you have to be on the. It has to be on the ATV. So I'm thinking, bag by the handlebars, go just thrown out over top of it.
That's
It's gonna be. It's the most stable. Huh? What do you mean?
all the way up here?
You're gonna prone out on it. You can let your heels hang or something. Austin, can you move your rifle for a second? I'm gonna just try it, see if it's even like an option.
Yeah. See what it feels like.
it-
Do you want to move this and set it up so you can see from a different spot?
So I have to leave
Oh, okay.
right after I shoot.
Okay.
I don't know.
Nate, no way, dude.
Maybe not.
No.
It sounded good. But you don't know until you try, right?
Honest?
I just
Austin, you going first?
Yeah, I gotta hit the road.
Why, dog? You gotta
say
go work?
using the fire.
I got a dog at home that's in a kennel.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
See what sit
about gonna
sit
be
down on
12
your ass and
hours
look.
for
See
it,
what
so-
feels
I'm
like.
on my ass
Same
now.
way about my dog, man.
yeah.
I don't
Well,
like
the problem
leaving
is
that.
the problem is it's not my dog. It's someone else's
I
dog.
don't know about this. It's kind of bouncy. You ever shot off fire? I mean, this is gonna be bouncy.
I
anyway.
feel bad for it.
Rubber
With a
legs.
bag, though.
Yeah. That's actually not bad though. Like just push your body back into it, like load it. And then use a bag right here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yep, tuck your elbow. That's not bad.
Yeah.
I feel like that's better than hanging off the ass end.
Pop a squat down here. Let's try this out. You need help getting up?
No, I was trying to see if I could. Yeah, it won't work.
It won't work, yeah.
Off the handlebar?
I feel like that's not bad. Just scoot back into it. Throw a bag over that.
Yeah, I can do that. Put the bag right on that thing. Yeah. Alright,
There's always these.
you can use your chopsticks if you want.
You going
All right,
first?
we're not on a safari hunt, okay?
Alright, Austin's going first.
Yeah.
Alright,
Fly ballistic.
shooter, are you ready? Shooter in the cage ready. Stand by.
I skip.
Moving.
Hey! These targets are hard to see.
Wrong target. Wrong target. Come to the right.
Freaking spider just went across the whole.
I don't know. I can't see that other one.
Okay.
I'm going ahead.
All right. Hit! Hit your head.
All right.
Go back to one. Hit! Hit!
Hell yeah.
Those are small targets.
3 hits
on the front.
Yeah.
And then 0 hits on the
target is just.
You only fired 9 shots, dude. That's what's crazy about it.
So down.
Call that a fucking win.
Clear. 102.58
in these conditions.
And he hit 5
Like,
rifle.
I'd call that a
6
fucking win.
pistol. You had 3 hits. So 7 misses.
You know,
And,
yeah, one. I'll take a hit.
6 on.
Color me impressed.
Yeah, that one was all right. I can't tell the hit until I hear it.
Yeah.
All right, 102.58.
10258. Got it.
Alright, so that was the match. Now, we'll go ahead and go over the gear I used, talk about all that, then go ahead and go back over each stage, talk about what went well, what didn't go well, all that sort of stuff. So, boring stuff first. Typical, usual Caldwell Green shooting bag. One thing that actually happened that kind of surprised me at this match is somebody actually asked me if they could use this bag. That's never happened to me before. I was kind of surprised. Usually people kind of look at this thing with disgust. So they asked if I could use it, or they asked if they could use it. I was like, I mean, if you want, but yeah. So that was new to me. Pistol. Pistol for this match was the Archon. So the Archon Type B Gen 2. Very nice pistol. On top, I've got the Holosun EPS. This is the green. I believe this is the 2 MOA dot version. Yeah. The paint coming off there, but you know, I've used this pistol a fair amount at various matches, and it's definitely growing on me. I really like it. Shoots nice and soft, shoots pretty flat, makes the pistol stuff on these for these types of matches pretty you know, pretty doable. The holster was the G-Code. I believe this is their XSR level 2 for the Archon. They're one of the few people that make a level 2 holster for this gun. So it does its job. Holsters were some cheap, whatever these are. I don't even remember. Yeah, Blackhawk. Some cheap Blackhawk double mag holster. And now the interesting part. So this is my Tabuk Sniper Rifle. Ammo. So this is 7.62 by 39. This is not any weird, you know, 6.5 Grendel. That'd be cool though. The ammo I'm using is the AAC. See if I can get a nice picture of the head stamp. This is the AAC 7.62 by 39. Specifically the Saber Black tip. Yeah, so this is the AAC 7.62 by 39. This is the Saber Black tip stuff. Out of this gun, it goes about 2375-ish, which is not super fast. I'm a bit disappointed as far as velocity goes on this, but this stuff shoots pretty well, which you will have seen in the match footage. I hit some surprisingly small targets with this stuff. And that was, you know, out of this rifle. That wasn't out of a 7.62 by 39 AR or anything like that. So, time to talk about the rifle. So this is a, let's see if I can get a nice picture of it. Tabuk Sniper Rifle. That was built by Two Rivers Arms. very happy with it. So we'll go front to back. Silencer Co. Omega 36M suppressor. This is mounted to a ASR 3-port brake that is mounted to a K&S Precision 14x1 left hand to 5/8 24 right hand thread adapter, because this, this barrel is threaded 14x1 left hand. The previous match I used this at, I had the JMac handguard on there. Took that off, decided to run it classic style for this match, so I'm just running Yugo M70 handguards. Same with the stock, so that's the Tabuk stock. Magazine. This is a magazine that came with the rifle. AK people get really weird about magazines. This is a Korean mag. I have another Korean mag that is absolute junk. And then that one is the one that came with the rifle, and it works pretty good. Now, in the match footage, you will have seen I had some a 30 rounder. The 30 rounders I'm using are Croatian. I picked them up from Palmetto State Armory. They're like 13 bucks. Not really happy with them. They don't really work that well. Optic for this match is the March FX 1.5 to 15 by 42. The typical DMR scope I use for all these types of matches. That's mounted to a AK350 MS mount. That's the RS Regulate mount. And yeah. And then I forgot to mention, I have a Fix-It Sticks bubble level on here. I did not really use that in the match, just kind of forgot it was there. And then mounted to the scope, I had the trigger cam 2.1 taking footage. Okay, so this was the ugly stage of the day. This is stage 4. The way this stage worked is you had a bunch of pistol targets, you clear those, run up, and then move to your rifle. I didn't really struggle with pistol stuff really at all this day, so I'm not really going to talk about it. It went fine. Now for the rifle, what happened on this stage was I could not hit this first target that we had, and I couldn't figure out why. Eventually I figured out that I was shooting high. I was shooting over the top of the target, which was weird because these targets are only at like 200 yards. So the fact that I was hitting that high is just, I don't know why it was happening. Now after the stage, I did figure out why, and the reason was that my suppressor had come loose. So the Charlie ASR mount was still firmly attached to the ASR brake, but the suppressor had come loose from that mount. And once that happened, the accuracy it falls apart. I've had that happen before. It goes through the floor. And so that is what happened on this stage. So on this target, you can see I'm shooting at the top of that berm. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. And there was a nice stick, and I shot at the top of the stick and trying to get, a relative idea of where my bullets were going. It didn't really help. Now on this reload, I switched from that 20 round mag that came with the rifle to one of those Croatian 30 round mags, and it caused a malfunction. This is the first malfunction I've had with this rifle, and it was with this mag. Not very impressed with those Croatian mags. So as far as placement on this stage goes, I placed 45 out of 46. So somehow somebody did worse than I did, but man, that was rough. My time for this stage was 96.85 seconds. However, I had 330 seconds of penalties. Well, 340 seconds of penalties. And so my total time for the stage was 436.85 seconds. Yeah, that was not good. Okay, now on to the bad stages. So as far as the bad stages go, the first one that we're going to talk about is stage 6. So really what happened on this stage was, for some reason, again, I'm hitting high. Now this is after stage 4. I've tightened my suppressor down. It didn't come loose the rest of the day. I know that for sure. But again, for some reason, I'm hitting like 1.25 mil high. I mean, you can see it. There's also a bit of wind, so that had some effect. But as far as why I'm hitting high, I don't know. My guess is it's just the fact that this is not a free-floated gun, and it's sort of hard to see because of the angle that I have the main camera at. I have the gun rested a bit further out on the barrel than I have on other stages. So my guess is just because I have the gun rested further out on the bag, you know, I'm pushing up on the barrel more, and it's just causing the gun to shoot high. You know, the consequences of using a skinny barrel and it's not free floated. The other thing that really stunk about this stage is that I ran out of ammo. So basically this whole match, I was limited to that 120 round mag. And on basically all the stages, my strategy was once I got through that 20 round mag, I wasn't going to bother reloading because I didn't trust those Croatian mags. I just, you know, once I got through those first 20, I just went straight to pistol and got the pistol stuff done. But that was stage 6. On stage 6, I placed 37 out of 46. My time was 88.72 seconds with 120 seconds of penalties for a total time of 208.72 seconds. Yeah, not great. Not terrible, but not great. Go ahead and move on to the next of the bad stages. Okay, so on to stage 3, which was the only other real bad stage I'd say I had. So the thing with stage 3 that made it bad was I just took a long time here to figure out my hold on this first rifle target. Yeah, it was just one of those things. Now I did send a shot down at the base of the target to try and spot splash, and that did work. I did spot splash. I got, you know, a rough wind hold. I had to do it again a second time, and I got a better wind call on that second shot. So I was having to hold, you know, a little bit over half a mil for wind. After I got that, you know, it started going fairly well.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
And then, you know, when I come back down to reshoot, you know, right, because you're supposed to go one shot each left to right, move, well, you didn't have to move, but one shot each left to right, and then again one shot left to right. When I come back down on that first target, I apparently forgot my wind hold and, you know, didn't do it. So yeah, it just wasn't a great stage. I made a bunch of mistakes here, and then had to reload. Luckily, this magazine seemed to work okay for the first few shots, but ultimately it just took forever and ran out of time. So on stage 3, I placed 29th out of 46, which isn't too bad. I know there's a lot of people on my squad that kind of struggled with it. I think the main issue that people were running into was the fact that that brush obscured a lot of the splash, so you didn't get much feedback for a wind call. You know, luckily, since I'm shooting 7.62 by 39, I get a bit heavier bullet and it kicks up a bit more splash if you're lucky, but it's still, that brush is kind of obnoxious. So my time was 102.90 seconds with 120 seconds of penalties for a total time of 222.90 seconds. This stage had no pistol stuff. It was just rifle. So yeah. That was the last of the quote-unquote bad stages, so we'll go ahead and talk about the good stages. Okay, so next up is going to be stage 8, which is basically the worst of the good stages. Now, the reason I'm including it in the good stage is because I got a hit at all. I was pretty happy I was even able to make one hit. So these targets, the closest target was at 560 yards, and then the final target, that, you know, head and shoulders target, that was at 610 yards.
Yeah, we're going.
And these targets were not big, right? You can see in the camera footage that these targets were about half a mil wide and maybe a mil tall or so. So these are not very big targets, especially when my gun shoots a little over 0.5 mil as far as accuracy goes. So I start shooting at target 1, and in the scope camera footage, you can see it a bit better, especially I think on one of the last shots I take, you can actually see the bullet come in like right next to the target. Like I was pretty close. If I had shot a few more shots at it, I probably would have got it. But in person, I was like, okay, I'm not going to hit this target. I'm just going to move on. So I move on to target 2, especially since it's further down on the road and you get much better feedback as far as splash goes. I'm able to hit target 2 relatively easily. Now I'm supposed to move on to target 3. However, I didn't see it. I'm going to pause the footage real quick at a spot where you can get a good idea. So it's paused right here, and I want you to guess, where's target 3? Go ahead, guess. Put your finger on the screen. You know, where do you think target 3 is? The answer is right here. That's target 3. I could not see it because of the way the lighting was. These targets were just very difficult to see. A lot of people struggled to see them at this time of the day. I know the earlier squads had easier time shooting them, but it was just, I could not see them. So I moved to target 4, and luckily I hit that target on the first shot, which I'm pretty happy about. But I had no idea where target 3 was. I was just like, okay, well, forget it. I don't know where it's at. I'm not going to bother trying to find it. It's just going to waste too much time. So I go ahead and move on to the final target, get the shot relatively easily, and move back to target 1. And then run out of time. So, like I said, I was just happy that I even hit a target on this stage because of the lighting, because of the size of the target, because of the distance, because of the gun I'm using. You know, combine all that together, I was overall pretty happy with the stage, which is why I'm including it in the good stages. So stage 8, I placed 33rd out of 46. My time was 102.58 seconds. With 270 seconds of penalties, we had a bunch of pistol stuff. I didn't make it to any of the pistol stuff, so that's where a lot of that penalty time came from. Yeah, just not a great stage. So we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so next up is stage 5. So the way this stage worked was you were limited to 12 rounds and you needed to get 10 hits. So you could only miss 2 shots and still be able to complete the stage. So I took my time. I made sure I was holding the right elevation hold. And I missed on target 2. And I could see I missed off right. So the rest of the targets, I tried to favor, left edge of the target. And I make it through the first string, relatively easily. I had 1 miss on target 4. But yeah, so that's my 2 misses used up. So I make it back to target 1. Get it. Go to target 2. Smack it. Target 3. Nothing. I didn't see any splash. I don't know where that bullet went. Same with target 4. I didn't see any splash. Don't know where it went. Apparently I hit target 6, but I didn't hear it. I didn't see it. So I'll take the spotter's word for it. And then as far as the pistol stuff, this was the stage I struggled the most with the pistol stuff. There was one target in particular that was pretty small, but I got a pretty sweet reload, so that was nice. Yeah. So stage 5, I took 24th out of 46. My time was 77.87 seconds with 60 seconds of penalty from the 2 rifle targets that I didn't hit. And then my final time was 137.87 seconds. So not bad, pretty good. I'm happy with that, especially considering most people consider the AK to be uselessly inaccurate. Okay, so now on to stage 2. This was the most challenging stage in terms of marksmanship because it had the smallest targets. So there was a plate rack, or a KYL rack at 370 yards. The smallest target was a 2-inch target. And then I believe it went 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So once I start shooting, I was looking for splash to catch my wind call. Now, I went relatively late in my squad on this stage, and, you know, as I was spotting the previous shooters, I noticed basically all their shots were going right off the left edge of this first plate. So when I was missing, I started holding right to compensate for wind because I thought I was missing left like everyone else. Now, eventually, I hit that second plate, which tells me, oh no, I'm shooting right. So for whatever reason, I guess the wind shifted for me. I ended up having to hold about half a mil left to hit these targets. But once I did get the wind call, the stage went relatively easily. Now I did screw up this one part. Since I'd already hit that second plate, I could have moved to the third plate, I guess. We were able to shoot this plate rack in any order. I shot it again, which I guess is just a waste of time and ammo, but you know, in my head I thought we had to go in order, so that's what I did. Get target 3 and then move on to target 4, and I was one of the few people in my squads to make it to target 4, so I was very happy to hit 4, and then I ran out of ammo for target 5. I don't know if I would have been able to hit target 5. That's a pretty small target, and I'm shooting an AK, so I'll take my wins where I can get them, I guess. So for stage 2, I ended up placing 32nd out of 46. My time was 93.41 seconds, and I had 15 seconds. The rifle penalties for this stage, because the targets were so small, the penalties were lowered. So since I only had that one rifle miss, it was only 15 seconds of penalty. Final time was 108.41 seconds. Yeah, I'm just based on the fact that I made it to the 4-inch target and hit it, I consider that a good stage. Okay, so now on to stage 7. So I'm throwing this on here, even though really this was not a very good stage in terms of placement and everything. I'm considering it a good stage because it had the longest shots, and I don't know, to me shooting long distance with an AK is a feat in and of itself, so I consider these good stages. So his first target is at 514 yards, the next target is at 550, and I'm just, you know, I'm cruising through these relatively easily, which was very surprising to me. I was not expecting to hit those targets really at all. I was expecting to get stuck on the first few. One of the things that definitely helped was, you know, I was able to spot a lot of splash on this stage. That really helped get my wind call. Move up the target you're looking at right now. This was the longest shot of the day. This target I measured at 670 yards, and the next one is at 662. And I get through these two far targets, make it back around, start working my way back up the hill. Again, I'm very happy that I made these shots. It went a lot better than I was expecting. Ultimately, I run out of ammo. That, you know, only being able to use a single 20-round mag really killed a lot of my stages. Switched to pistol and then timeout. So that was a little disappointing, but I'm very happy with how the rifle performed on this stage. So this was stage 7. This was my second best placement for the day. I placed 15th out of 46. I guess a lot of people struggled on this stage to hit those targets. My time was 95.46 seconds with 160 seconds of penalties. You know, mostly pistol misses because I didn't get to the pistol. And then my final time was 255.46 seconds. Yeah. On to the next stage. Alright, so the best stage of the day was stage 1, which is surprising because usually stage 1 is my worst stage or one of the worst stages. I only had 2 misses on this whole stage, which was nice. I know a lot of people in my squad really struggled on target 2. You know, it's a little bit further target, and there's no real feedback because it's, you know, silhouetted against brush. So I think a lot of people just kind of got lost on that target. Make it to the top of the hill. I know a lot of people in my squad also struggled with this first target at the top of the hill. I think they were hitting high usually, but for some reason, I guess I make it through there relatively easily. Switched to pistol, had a little fumble with loading that first round. When I loaded it, it felt like I didn't get the slide back all the way, so I wasn't sure if I chambered around, so I had to check and make sure, and it was good, but that's what it felt like. But yeah, this stage went really well. I was able to get onto target relatively quick. I was able to get shots off relatively quick and accurately. Making corrections was not a problem. It just went well. In fact, it went so well that I ended up placing 4th out of 46, which was it to me. To me, that's so surprising. I'm wondering if we did this stage wrong, because normally on these stages they have you go like through twice on either rifle or pistol or something like that. But as far as I can tell, we did the stage right. So I'll take the win where I can get it. The time on this stage was 48.74 seconds with no penalties. So we'll go ahead. We'll talk about overall thoughts about the match and then wrap the video up. So, thoughts about the match. The match went surprisingly well. So, going into the match, I knew this was the season finale, which meant that typically Chad likes to put smaller targets for the finale. So, going into it, I was a little worried about whether or not I would be able to do well at this match. And I think given, this, I think I did pretty well. I managed to hit some small targets. You saw on stage 2, I ended up almost clearing the plate rack. So the last target on the plate rack was a 4-inch target, and that was at 370 yards. So just over a 1 MOA target. It did take me a few shots, but I did get it. So I was very happy with that. And then same with the far targets, shooting 7.62 by 39. It's not going very fast, so there's a lot of drop. There's a lot of wind drift as well. Luckily, the wind wasn't too bad today, but I still had to deal with that drop and made it work. It did decent. Pistol stuff went fine. Nothing really. The match was a little bit lighter on the pistol stuff than I thought it was going to be. I guess it is a DMR match. It's not really a pistol match, so some people. I've definitely heard complaints where people don't like the fact that these matches are so pistol heavy. I personally like it because it forces people to be a competent all-around shooter, not just a really good rifle shooter. There was a few little hiccups in the match. So obviously the first one was stage 4, I believe it was. So stage 4, I had an issue where I was, I just couldn't seem to hit the targets. I was hitting high for some reason. After that stage, I figured out the silencer. So the silencer is in 2 parts. You have the silencer itself, a mount, and then you have the actual, the brake, the ASR brake that's underneath it all. So the suppressor had come loose from this piece, which, just coming loose. It wasn't like wobbly or anything, but just being loosened was enough to cause basically the gun to be almost unusable. And then there was another issue where on a later stage, again, I was hitting high for some reason. I think that's just the fact that this is a free-floated, this is not a free-floated gun. And I was resting the gun about here as opposed to about here. So, when you move your rest further out on the barrel, you're gonna get more and more deflection. So, without reshooting that stage and trying it again, I'm just gonna blame it on the fact that I was too far out on the barrel and not on the handguard.